Welcome to answering the same questions all over again.
We were just saying that.
Lucky you.
You're all good.
It was
You're all
great.
good. Go for it. Hit us.
So firstly, I wanted to know if you think you can be taught how to be charming and how to seduce.
We've
That's a
not had
new
that question. Yes.
Can you be taught? I don't know. I don't think so, I think that's the
No.
whole journey of this show, is that it's about accepting yourself for who you are. And maybe people can give you a few pointers along the way, but really it's all about that.
Also, my sister always says, "Beware the charmers," because charm is a verb. It's not who a
Wow.
person is. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I love that.
But it's hard. I mean, it's hard not to get drawn in by charming people. But what's underneath the charm? you
Yeah,
know?
we need to unpack that.
Yeah. Peel that onion.
Yeah. And there's this point in the show when they say living for expectation of others is a trap. What do you think about that?
Living for the expectation of others.
Yeah,
is a
that's
trap.
so true.
Yeah, and feels even more relevant today than it did back then. I think that's what's so beautiful about this show, is that as much as it feels really far removed from how we live today, so many of the themes are really relevant. And particularly with that social media, that quote feels so appropriate. So yeah, once you break free, the world opens up. So,
Ooh. And Nicola, how do you feel being in a TV show that is so empowering for women?
I think it's incredible. I think Shonda Rhimes has changed the landscape of TV for female characters, not just in this show, with Grey's and with Scandal and everything she does. And it's funny because people always go, I really want to see complex women on TV. And the minute a female character makes a mistake, everyone's like, I hate her. And I'm like, no, let's give people grace, And I feel like I'm a pen defender. Like, of course I have to be. Because, she was like 17 when she started Lady Whistledown. She had no voice in the world. And she's a great writer. She's smart and she's rich.
yeah.
Yeah. She buys herself some really great dresses and but no, it's incredible. And I think in this show and even in this season, I think people really relate to Colin and Penn because they're both the outsiders, the outcasts. And I think we've all sort of felt like that. We've all sort of felt like we don't belong in spaces. And then there's, the introduction of more so of Francesca Bridgerton, who's a really quiet character. But I feel like there's so many characters in this show, wonderful characters, but there'll be someone that everyone can relate to. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's true. And now, of course, how was it the first time you kissed on screen being friends? Was it shocking for you?
Don't know about shocking. I mean,
No, well, yeah, no one slipped a tongue in or anything like that.
we were well prepared.
Yeah, we had a little practice kiss before the one on camera so that we could kind of do that without, everyone seeing it, which was nice.
Yeah.
And it sort of took but it was nerve-wracking because if the kiss didn't look good or you didn't feel the chemistry or the connection, because it's such a big moment for both of them, but for Colin,
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
If that didn't work, so much was riding on that moment in terms of the narrative. But then when we watched, as Lucas said, it was one of the first things we saw of the series.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's everything we wanted
Thank
it
God.
to be.
Yeah.
It's because it's sad and vulnerable and then romantic and then oh, it's a bit sexy and then it's what's happening? It's many things.
And how was it being now what you deserve, the main characters? This season, you are the main characters. Do you feel pressure? Do you feel scared?
I think it felt like the appropriate time for Colin and Penn to sort of take centre stage, for want of a better word. It really felt like we'd dived into enough of the history of their relationship, and the drama that ensues at the end of season 2. It feels like we have to resolve that, and from there we really have to take off. So it felt like the appropriate time. I mean, obviously it's daunting, a show as big as Bridgerton, to step into that light and try and navigate your way through that. Not only your performance, but also as an actor and just the demand of being there so much. But I think we loved it, and it was an experience that